A very good evening to all brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. Today is 19 August 2025. So as usual, we will be continuing our Tuesday class following this book, the wonderful Dhamma Lotus Flower Sutra. Okay, as usual, we will gather for physical Puja. 南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无阿弥陀佛。南无阿弥陀佛。南无阿弥陀佛。弥勒佛。南无弥勒佛。南无弥勒佛。南无药师佛。南无药师佛。南无药师佛。南无普贤菩萨。南无普贤菩萨。南无普贤菩萨。南无地藏王菩萨。南无地藏王菩萨。南无地藏王菩萨。南无佛菩萨。南无佛菩萨。南无佛菩萨。阿拉汉萨玛萨布多巴嘎瓦。บุตังภะคะวันตังอะภิวาเทมิสวากขาโตภะคะวะตาธัมโมธัมมังนัมมัสสามิสุปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆสังฆังนามามินะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะบุตตังสรณังกัจฉามิธัมมังสรณังกัจฉามิสังฆังสรณังกัจฉามิดุติยัมปิบุตตังสรณังกัจฉามิดุติยัมปิธัมมังสรณังกัจฉามิดุติยัมปิสังฆังสรณังกัจฉามิตติยัมปิบุตตังสรณังกัจฉามิตติยัมปิธัมมังสรณังกัจฉามิตติยัมปิสังฆังสรณังกัจฉามิปานาติปาตาเวรมณีสิกขาปะดังสมาธิยามิอาดินาดานาเวรมณีสิกขาปะดังสมาธิยามิกาเมสุมิจฉาจาระเวรมณีสิกขาปะดังสมาธิยามิมุสาวาทาเวรมณีสิกขาปะดังสมาธิยามิสุราเมรยามจาปมาดัฏฐานะเวรมณีสิกขาปะดังสมาธิยามิกันนะสารปะดิเตนะดิปเปนะตามะดังสินะติโลกาทิปังสัมบุดังปูจายามิตามโมนุดังกันดาสัมบารยุตเตนะดุปเพนะหังสุกังหินะปูจาเยปูจานิยังตัง Puja bhajana buddhamang vanna gandha gunopetang etang kusuma santatin pujayami munindasa siri pada sarohe pujemi buddhang kusumena nena punnena mattena cha hotu mokhang pupang milayati yatta idang me kayo tatta yati vinasa bhavang adivase tuno bante paniyang parikapitang anukampang upadaya patigan hatu mutamang adivase tuno bante pale parikapitang anukampang upadaya patigan hatu mutamang adivase tuno bante bojanang parikapitang anukampang upadaya patigan hatu mutamang. Now we will chant the Puja Aspirations based on our understanding of the significance of all these Puja offerings. Significance of offering of light. May this offering of light to the Buddha brings forth the causes and conditions to illuminate our mind and help arise the needed clarity and understanding to dispel all darkness or ignorance therein. Significance of offering of water. May this offering of pure, clear, cool water lead us to the pure, clear Dhamma that cools and doses off the fires of all defilements within our mind. Significance of offering of incense. May our morality, virtue and understanding shine forth far and wide, just like the fragrance of this incense which we are offering to the Blessed One, who is perfect in wisdom and virtue. Significance of offering of fruits. May this offering of fruits remind us of the Dana Parami of generosity and the fruit of all karma, so that we will diligently strive on with heedfulness to attain the path and fruitions soon as possible. Significance of offering of flowers. May this constant offering of flowers to the Blessed One strengthen our faith and constantly remind us of the impermanence of this body, so that we will diligently and sincerely strive on to cultivate Sila, Samadhi and Panya, leading to ultimate liberation, the born-free Nibbana. Making of overall aspiration. By the power of all these merits born of these offerings, may our spiritual faculty of Saddha, Virya, Sati, Samadhi and Panya be further strengthened until they become balas or power. Sharing and transfer merits to all beings. May these merits be shared and transferred to all beings without exception, especially to those who have the condition and affinity to receive them. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, let us pay respect to Puja. Buddhang Puja. Dhammang Pujami. Sanghang Pujami. Awareness-based meditation is very unique and very important. It is to help us develop our inner awareness within, so that we can clearly understand what our true mind is. Without that understanding, it's very difficult to progress along the path of Dhamma. as we have also gone through the recent Dhamma study and discussion on the Surangama Sutta. The basis of penetrating all this complicated and very penetrative Mahayana teaching is to have this ability to differentiate between the true mind and the mundane mind, or what we call the thinking mind, the conditioned arising mind. That is not our true mind. That is dependent originating, condition arising, causal phenomena. Mind megade, just manifestation through causes and condition. If you mistaken that for your true mind, you will fall into delusion. That is for us to come to this existential world, to develop the understanding, the cultivation, the whole of the karmic process that is involved in all the samsaric movement of birth and death. Then all of the essential Dhamma, you can only come to understand after you have developed the pure awareness within. So awareness-based meditation is to develop this stability of inner pure awareness. So based on the 4 support that I have taught you, if you can develop it, it will help you. The first 3 support are very important. Just relax body and mind. When you relax, you don't think. You feel body and mind completely at ease, relaxed. Then after that, the natural consequence is to maintain the inner awareness. That is your true mind before thought arise, before thinking arise. So maintaining awareness can be quite challenging if you don't have the understanding, because we are so conditioned to think, to perceive, to develop all the sankhara activity and movement without understanding. So most people, even cultivators who are new or who have not developed the understanding of the true mind or pure awareness nature, they are still caught because they take the thinking mind, the mundane mind, to be the true mind. And they use that a lot to develop a lot of thought process leading to heedlessness. So to be heedful is to have the pure awareness without thought. So if you can develop the stability of it, then you will understand the Dhamma very well and very easily. So relax, maintaining awareness. The first 2 support is very important. And the 3rd support is just to stabilize that pure awareness that you have developed. So when you can stabilize, means don't do anything. Whatever arises, maintain the awareness. Aware, finish. Aware, finish. Means don't try to continue with the thought process or thinking. To realize the pure awareness, you must not think. When thought is active, you are already creating the thought activity and movement. You have deviated from your pure awareness nature. You have got lost in the thinking, preoccupied with what the thought tells you, or the emotion that has arisen through your psychiatry, your reaction to sense experience, the stirring of your mundane thinking mind or activity. So all these movements, when they arise, just away, finish. Ability to have this inner awareness, to observe and see all this, is meditation. It will lead to wisdom. That's why the silent mind, which is our meditative mind, is also your true mind. So when you are with that pure awareness nature, which is your true mind, you can stay there, silently observe. That's why that silent mind that observes, the silent observation of what is the reality, all the activity and movement that are occurring within the moment, give rise to wisdom. That's how we see things as they are, without words, without thought. Then we start to understand clearly, who are we? What are we? What is this five aggregate of form and mind? What is this so-called human being all about? Then we start to see clearly how we function as a human being. And this understanding is very important. We will come to understand through the senses within our physical body, together with the consciousness trapped inside, how upon contact, consciousness come to be. Then after the arising of that consciousness, how you actually stir your mind or react to sense experience via your views, opinion, conditioning and belief system. These are all from memory, your conditioned mental activity, your accumulated what we call knowledge and experiences. And that is how you act. It's just a bundle of memory that you accumulate through conditioning and whatever interaction with nature and society. So the thought process created the knowledge, created the views, opinion, conditioning and belief system. Then from there, it acts according to memory that trigger all this delusion. And the delusion is the one that will condition human suffering or living being suffering. So the silent observation of what is can lead to this type of understanding and wisdom. It can insight into phenomena, awaken to the three universal characteristics of anicca, dukkha and anatta. And all this will unfold. Then the form and mind that go through the cultivation can awaken. That is how you develop the cultivation. Then for those who have developed the stability of inner awareness, you can move on to the fourth support, which is trust. T-R-S-U-T. T-R-U-S-T. Trust. Means trusting your inner nature, your inner awareness nature, to develop the movement on its own. No thought interference is involved. Everything is just relaxed, silent, stay at the heart area. Then allow the pure awareness nature to detect whatever that arises. It can be a vibration, or your heartbeat, or any activity that manifests from there. Then allow that movement to move on its own without directing it from the thought process. That's why it's called trust. Trust our inner nature, our true nature, to develop the meditative transformation and movement, especially the internal movement. We are the gateway. It will locate the gateway on its own. Okay, with that, I will set the alarm for 30 minutes. Then I will allow you to meditate on your own. Okay, you all can slowly, mindfully come out of meditation. Try to maintain whatever inner peace, inner calmness, and inner awareness that you have developed for as long as you can. These are the mind state that can develop mindfulness within. The daily mindfulness need to be stabilized. So you can anchor it during your waking hour to your kaya activity or to all your senses. You can develop mindfulness of seeing, hearing, smell, taste, tactile and thought process, especially kaya. Okay, now we will turn to page 6 of the chanting book. We will do the invocation to the Devas. Invocation to the Devas. In this universe, in the entirety, let the deities and Devas come here. Let them hear the good teachings of the King of Sages, which gives heaven and release, Nibbana. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. Samanta Chakavalesu Atra Gachantu Devata Saddhammang Munirajasa Sunantu Sakamokadang Dhamma Svanang Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhamma Svanang Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhamma Svanang Kalo Ayang Badanta Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Iti peso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho Vijacharana sampanno sugato lokavidu Anuttaro purisa dhamma sarati satta deva manusanang Buddho Bhagavati Swakato Gavata Dhammo Sanditiko Akaliko Ehipaseko Opanayiko Pachyatang Veditadho Vinohiti Supatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Ujupatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Nyayapatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Samicipatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Yadidang Chattari Purisa Yukani Atta Purisa Pugala Esa Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Ahuneyo Pahuneyo Dakineyo Anjali Karaniyo Terang Punyang Ketang Dokasati Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu. The wonderful Dhamma Lotus Flower Sutta. We are in volume 4, chapter 3, a parable by Master Hsuan. Chi and Mei are tiny eagles, only about 3 feet tall. Wang Liang can be anywhere from 30 to more than 300 feet tall. What do yakas and evil ghosts represent? Starting from Chi, Mei and Wang Liang, were everywhere. Onwards. These lines of verse represent the 5 sharp afflictions. Previously we talked about the 5 dull afflictions, which act slowly. Sharp afflictions are keen, fast and intense. The 5 sharp afflictions also turn people upside down, causing them to form attachment and do deluded things. The 5 sharp afflictions are as follows. The first one is Sakkayaditthi, or views of individual entity. Means we believe this form and mind of ours. For our case, is a human being. It's a permanent, unchanging entity. It's real. It's what we are. In fact, most human beings, after they take birth, not long, they develop this egoic mind or personality, or the individual identity, very fast. Because our society is such. We are born with a name, with an identity. Then from there, they give you not only the name, they even have your date, birth certificate. Then after that, they identify you further by your identity cards. Then later on, you are given passport for you to travel overseas and all these things. Then when you are at school, they still identify you. And as you come out to work in the society, there are also various ways of identification. Now everything you want to buy or own, you have to register. Especially the handphone, internet, everything. And these are the process of society's identification conditioning. So this view of individual's identity is what the Buddha calls Sakkayaditthi, self-delusion. We deludedly grasp onto this so-called human being, or the Buddha called it the 5 aggregates of form and mind, as the real identity behind. We think this is a permanent, unchanging entity that we can cling onto, grasp onto, hold onto, and say, this is me, this is I, therefore all this can be mine. When you do that, there is suffering because there is attachment to 5 aggregates. The Sakkayaditthi that identifies through self-delusion, the personality, the egoic mind that manifests. One is always attached to one's physical body, according to the commentaries. You work for your body all day long. This is another good way of putting it. We think our body works for us. But in actual fact, if you look at it in its proper perspective, the body needs food, needs shelter, needs the necessity of life. So all this need what we call society term as money. That's why you have to work to earn your salary or your remuneration. You have to work to have the means to own things, buy things. So food, shelter, they are the two basic essential or need, food and shelter. Then after that, as you develop more and more success or more and more ability to own more things, then like the Maslow need hierarchy, the various need move up the hierarchy ladder, the need hierarchy ladder. So from basic food and shelter, you want to own a car, a house, and all the valuable things that you believe can bring about status, esteem, self-esteem. Then you want to develop fame. So all these are what they call process of craving that manifests from that sakayaditi. Because you believe you can become successful through this process. Then you want to be financially very stable. And you want to own a lot of money, property, wealth, everything. Believing that all this can bring about good life, success, etc. So here, Shenhua put it as, you work for your body all day long actually. Buying some candy is food, some perfume to wear, some nice clothes and delicious food, as well as finding it a nice place to live. So this is what I described just now more comprehensively. You think my body is just me. Actually, there is sakayaditi, self-delusion. How is it wrong? The body can only be said to belong to you. You can say it is mine, but you can't say it's me. Why not? The body is like a house. When you are living in a house, you cannot tell people my house is me. You can just say this house is mine. Ultimately, your body is not you, is not your master. If you cling to your body and take it as the basis of your identity, you are making a mistake. I often say that if you look from the top of your head to the sole of your feet, your head is called head, your eyes are called eyes, ears are called ears, your hair are called hairs. Your nose is called nose, your mouth is called mouth, your skin is called skin, your hands are called hands, your feet are called feet. Every bodily part has its own name. Which one of them is called me? You can look all over your body, but still you will not find a me. Why? Because it's not you. Here, not you means not a permanent unchanging entity. It just belongs to you. That's all. If you think and make plans on your body's behalf all the time, then as Tao Yuan Ming said in his poem, the return, my mind has been my body's slave. Your mind is the true master. The body is merely a house. You are the master who lives in a particular body. This everlasting true mind and pure, brilliant, inherent nature is the true self. So this is what Shenhua tried to explain. It is also called the Tathagata Gaba, as well as the Buddha nature. So do you think that your body is you? It's yours, but it's not you. The real you neither comes into being nor ceases to be. It neither defiles nor pure, and it neither increase or diminish. However, instead of recognizing the real you, you recognize the false self. That is the mundane mind, the thought process, and think that the body is you. If your body were really you, then when your body dies, will you cease to exist? If so, wouldn't life be meaningless? That is the view of analyticism, annihilationism. Very difficult to pronounce. Annihilation already long enough. I put in another ism, which is an extreme view. In fact, when people die, it's like their house have fallen apart and they must find a new place to live. Where do they move to? It depends on what kind of karma they have created. If you have created good karma, you will move to a good place. If you have created bad karma, you will move to a bad place. Therefore, when you die, you are not annihilated. In light of this, you can let go of the view of the individual identity. Don't be attached to your body. Here is Master Hsuan Hua's way of expressing and presenting it. But when you have cultivated and developed the true understanding, you see it differently. Like what I explained to you all this while. If you have the inner awareness, means after you have developed stability or inner awareness via the awareness-based meditation, then you see very clearly the physical body is just a phenomena that arises through causes and conditions via the karmic process. Then it needs causes and conditions for it to arise and manifest. And the three causes and conditions for it to arise and manifest is, first, there must be a karmic nature first that have actually comes about via the first thought of ignorance. And that one, the Buddha said, inconceivable is the beginning of this first thought of ignorance that have conditioned living beings to fall and become what they are. So from there, the karmic nature evolved. And with the karmic nature, upon death, for those who are non-enlightened, they will die with sakayaditi or self-delusion or ignorance, avijja we call. And because of that, the last thought moment will condition rebirth consciousness. So first there is a karmic nature. Second is ignorance or avijja, which is mainly sakayaditi, that condition rebirth consciousness. So there is consciousness, there is the karmic nature. Then what happens is that consciousness, that condition rebirth through the karmic nature, it will condition a fine aggregate or form a mind, or we call it a living being. For our case, it's called a human being. We are born a human. So there is this nature's law through the biological order of nature. the sperm and the ovum, they must interact. Then there must be causes and condition through the karmic process, the karmic conditioning and the choice. Then the form and mind will take inception. Then this small conversion of the inception of the sperm and ovum, they will develop the subsequent cell division from single cell to multi-cell. Then after that, it takes time to evolve all the other organ and other things. So this is the physical part. That's why the physical body also come about. The rebirth consciousness that enters the embryo later also form a part. Then the third one is the karmic force. The karmic force comes from the karmic nature. That one we call the pulse of life. It pumps the heart. It gives rise to heartbeat that reverberate through the fetus. Then later on, as the fetus grow up, take birth, and become a newborn baby and a child, then you grow up slowly through the stages of what they call growth. You become a boy or a girl. Then you become a youth. Then later on, you mature into a mature adult. Then later on, you age, you deteriorate. Then finally, consciousness separate and you call death. So this is the process which is dependent originating, condition arising, causal phenomena. So all these are causes and conditions manifest. That's why we call it a phenomena that arise through causes and conditions. That's why karmically conditioned form and mind for us to arise within this existential world, to animate into a living being. And for our case, we call it a human being. So if you see it from that aspect, then you realize the physical body with the consciousness trapped inside, with the life force that comes and pumps our heart and animates us into a living entity, or what we call as a human being, we are a conscious being, animate us into a conscious being. We are capable of being conscious of what we see, what we hear, what we smell, what we taste, what we tactily feel and think. And that's the basis of life, the sixth sense door. That's what we have learned or gone through, share under the Surangama Sutta. And that one is the mundane mind mainly. Like the physics experiment, upon contact, consciousness comes to be. Means, like the physics experiment, you on the switch, the light bulb lights up. The lighting up is like the human being become conscious of whatever sense activity. You can be conscious of the world, sight and sound, conscious of what you see, what you hear, what you smell, what you taste, what you tactile feel and think. And that's how you create the illusionary world through the sense door consciousness. And these one are dependent originating, condition arising entity. Mind make a day, like what the Buddha mentioned. So how can it be you? How can it be a permanent, unchanging entity? The physical body, you know, go the way of nature, follow nature's law. That's why it will go through birth, old age, sickness and death. And these are reality. That's why in the First Noble Truth reality, these are mentioned. Then the 5 daily contemplation, the Buddha also taught you to develop the basic wisdom to understand. Especially the first 3 daily contemplation. He said, this body of ours is of the nature to grow old, get sick and die. for he has not gone beyond old age, sickness and death. Why? Because the physical body only has the four elements, no knowing. It will go the way of nature. It's not a permanent, unchanging entity. That's why it's subject to old age, sickness and death. Whatever that is born must die, because they are dependent originating entity, phenomena. They come, they go. They come, they arise, they sustain itself through causes and conditions. Then when causes and conditions cease to be, it ceases to be. That's why the Buddha said, within the conditioned world, everything is condition arising, dependent originating. It's not a permanent, unchanging entity. That's why it has the universal characteristics of impermanent. But dependent on condition, it manifests. When conditions continue to exist, it continues to sustain itself and manifest. But when conditions cease to be, it ceases to be. This is the nature's law, the nature's phenomena, movement. So when you are aware, you see all this. Then you realize, this one keep on evolving, changing. How can it be you? Is the one that is newborn and the one that is now the same you? No. It's the memory that is being carried by the entity now, and few moments earlier, you. Or few moments later, you. It's just a bundle of memory with its views, opinion, condition, and belief system. And if your brain is damaged, you also lost your ability to identify yourself, because you hold on to all this identity through your brain, through your memory, through your conditioning. And all this is what life and existence is all about. So when you see all this, understand all this, then you go in, check. Similarly, the consciousness, which has the other four aggregate of feeling, perception, sankhara activity, or the mind state, that whatever the mind can do, and consciousness, they are also dependent originating, condition arising, cause of knowledge, following the dwelling, paticca samuppada. And they are not a permanent, unchanging entity. And they are not you. Why? Like what I have explained to you before. If it's you, it will listen to you. You can command it. Don't get old, don't get sick, and don't die. You can't. They don't obey you. They follow nature's law. They go the way of nature, that is the physical body. Their feeling, also same. Feeling arise and pass away. Good feeling, pleasant feeling, then unpleasant feeling, then neutral feeling. That feeling keep on evolving into emotion. If feeling is you and good feeling cease to be, you should die with it. But you didn't die. So how can feeling be you? Every moment of perception, it changes. If perception is you, when whatever you perceive cease to be, you should die with it. But you didn't. So how can perception be you? It's very easy to understand. Similarly, your thought process, your mind state, your emotion, your thought activity, your mental intention, your views, opinion, conditioning, belief system, everything that you hold on within your memory, that is your whole sankhara accumulation. They are dependent originating condition. They come and they go, and you didn't die. That's why I say anger is never you. Fear is never you. But they arise and they pass away, but you're still around. Then who are you? What are you? Consciousness is also the same. Arise and pass away. You didn't die. So if all these five aggregate form and mind, Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana, they are not you, then who are you? What are you? Then why did it arise in you? If they are not you, then why did it arise in you? That's why you must have the pure awareness nature to see all this. Then you realize that they are dependent originating entity. Because of causes and conditions they manifest. That's why they arise. That's why the Buddha said, mind make a day. Mind is a forerunner of all things. Mind is chief. When mind arises, all things arise. Including the phenomenal world of consciousness and form. The illusory world. That's why it's not what you think. It's like the illusionist or the magician creating magic for you to see. Because they are all images. Mental images. Mental formation. Mental manifestation. Condition arising entity. When you see all this and understand all this, you become different. You start to realize this profound wisdom as taught by the Buddha. Then you awaken. Then you're no longer deluded. Then that sakkayaditthi that binds and conditions living being into delusion and suffering will cease to be. You will have no more power over you. That's why with awareness you can develop that understanding and wisdom. You can see clearly. You can see the phenomenal world of consciousness and form. First, you learn to see form, the unreality of form. Then form has no power over you. That's why you can see beyond form, like our physical body and the human being. When we see beyond form, what do we see? We see mind, which is not so different than the gender part or no more. But mind, if you were to analyze it or develop the understanding of it, it can still be very different individually. Each and every one of us have our own conditioning, our own belief system, our views, opinion, conditioning, belief system, religious belief. So all this evolve and develop the individual. So when you see all this, then you realize, even at the mind level, it's still not a what they call eternal entity that is universally doesn't separate. Then, like the form, you can learn to see that mind, how it arises, like the physics experiment, upon contact with the sense basis, sense data and the consciousness, then it triggers the respective sense door consciousness. Then from there, how the paticca samuppada, the 12 link, the law of dependent origination, how it flow and manifests and create more and more delusion. So when you see all this, then you realize the mind is also dependent originating, condition arising, not a permanent unchanging entity, not what you think. Then like the Buddha said, mind make adi. And mind is a forerunner. And this is the mundane mind. This is not your true mind, your true nature. So with the pure awareness, see this. Then you can see mind. And you know how mind manifests, the two types of mind, the true mind and the dependent originating mind, the condition arising mind. From there, how the mundane thinking or the mundane thought process manifests, the trigger of the karmic conditioning and movement. Then when you see all this, then you suddenly realize that mind arises through causes and conditions. Like the Buddha said, mind make adi. They are within the conditioned world, condition arising, causal phenomena. And all the other karmic conditioning activity, the pancha niyama, they are all linked, interconnected. Then you develop the ability to see the mundane mind, the thinking mind, how they arise and how they pass away, how they create delusion and deceive the living being into sakkayaditthi, and cause you to stir your mind, react to sense experience, and develop all the entanglement with phenomena. That's how living beings, or especially human beings, they get entangled and they are trapped by sakkayaditthi, as explained in the Surangama Sutta 2. And now, with the understanding, you can move beyond all this. Then, like the way you see form, you learn to see mind, the mundane mind and the true mind. Then you realize the two are different. One is dependent originating, condition arising. That is not your true mind. The other one is the undying, the unborn. That which is never born, never go through old age, sickness and death. That which is primordial, or we call it our true nature, original nature. From there, all things arise. And that is a different mind. But that one is not a being, not a permanent, unchanging entity that can come out and live life, that you can say, this is me, this is I. Therefore, all this can be mine. No. That's why there is no such thing as a supreme ultimate self, Atman, and all that things. No. That nature doesn't belong to anybody. It is not a being. So when you understand all this, then you learn to see mind. The unreality of mind. Your mind, like form, is also dependent originating, condition arising, like the bullock cart analogy. Then anything that you perceive through your senses, like this table, whatever you perceive within my house, everything, even my voice, they are all dependent originating, condition arising. Without causes and conditions, they will not be here, they will not manifest. But because of causes and conditions, they arise. And when causes and conditions cease to be, it ceases to be. Like my voice, when I stop speaking, then it ceases to be. So all this, when you have pure awareness, nature, sati, you will see, you will understand. That's why it's not what you think, not so real. Then when you see the unreality of mind, then you will develop the wisdom to transcend mind. That's why you will see mind, the unreality of mind. Then you will see beyond mind. When you can see beyond form and beyond mind, then what do you see? You see the pure nature within, the pure awareness nature. And that one is universal. Every living being has it. Then we are not so different. That's how you transcend the delusion created by thought process, by the mundane creation from the pure nature. So this way of understanding through cultivation is much better than what Shenhua has explained. Now we go back to the notes. That's why the Surangama Sutta is very powerful. You have learned that and develop the understanding of it, which I believe a lot of Kayamita has actually progressed very well. Now they can follow, and they can even understand to a very deep extent. That's why my nature rejoices. And this time around, the request for that sharing has helped many people. Okay, now we move on. After Sakkayaditthi is extreme views. So this one is also the same. These are all the various type of wrong views. But the ultimate understanding is self-delusion. Whatever extreme view is all conditioned from sakkayaditthi, self-delusion. So here, Shenhua asks, what is an extreme view? The view of annihilationism and the view of eternalism are the two extremes held by non-Buddhists. Those who believe in annihilationism believe that when they die, it is like a lamp going out. It's over, no more. You will not undergo any retribution or for good or evil, regardless of whether you have been good or bad or evil. Everything ends with death. Means that belongs to the theory of annihilationism. They do not believe in cause and effect. They do not believe in rebirth. So all this is what the extreme views carry. They do not believe that you can become a Sammasambuddha if you do the cultivation and develop all the virtue and wisdom, or that you can become a ghost if you do bad deeds or evil deeds. They do not believe in the existence of Buddhas and ghosts. In fact, they do not believe in the notion of people either. They feel that people are no different from the grass and tree that grows and die. When one dies, another one is born. But the same being is not reborn again. One dies and another takes its place. Those who die are forever dead. Those who come into being are born anew. That is the view of annihilationism, because they do not believe in the cycle of birth and death, cause and effect, means the karmic process, and they do not accept the concept of the sixth destiny transmigration, means rebirth, Liu Tao Lun Hui. So coming back to just now the explanation, they compare the living being to be like the grass and the tree and all those things. You know what is the basic difference? Grass, tree, plants, all those things. So pass the mic to Alicia. We can discuss this. It is good.
Brother, 我记得你讲过，因为树木草没有 five aggregate form and mind.
Okay, good.
他们没有感觉。
Okay, good. I will explain it further. You see, one is called a living being, understand? They are a living thing, understand? They also have consciousness. They also have life, but not so well evolved and developed. Understand? That's why when you chop a tree, it's not called killing. Understand? But do not get the Buddha wrong. They may be plants and other things, but if you destroy them, there is life. Understand? So this life is called a living thing. Understand? It may not be a being, but it has its karmic effect also. If we abuse it, pollute it, and do a lot of nonsense towards it, there is also the karmic, although like very low form of living thing. They also have mono consciousness, except they don't have like the human beings complexity or living beings complexity of the five aggregate of form and mind. So most of them are like the grass or the tree or whatever. They cannot really move around. They don't have limbs like us and all those things, and they don't have the senses like us. That's why they remain at the place where they germinate or grew up and become what they are. And they are more towards the mono consciousness type. Sometimes, like the plants, the tree or what, they don't have sophisticated thinking or thought process. They are like mono consciousness. They can detect sunlight, understand? They can move and all that. And they have their life, their movement. That's why you must understand the difference. So when you are aware, you become sensitive. Then you can look at them like the Heart Sutta. When you have realized true emptiness, life become wonderful, meaningful. Means you can like develop all this ability to experience all of the pristine beauty and wonders of life. You can observe them, see everything. Even inanimate object means totally no life, understand? Like concrete, the cement, all the thing. Then the other one is got life, but living thing, not a being, understand? The one that is a being is the 31 plane of existence, understand? Like what Alicia mentioned, we have the 5 aggregate, much more evolved and developed. So that is the basic difference. Then through the Surangama Sutta later on, you will learn a lot of other things. Birth by different type and all those things, and how all this consciousness. That's why even though we are going through early on the animal, the yaka, the insect, everything, although I didn't go in detail. That's why I say, for those who are interested, you can go and read out yourself. Because they explain actually in the sutta. But without the awareness and the cultivation, the training, it's not easy to understand. Then sometimes you read already like, what is there to learn from all this? Because the description is like very boring. That's why I say for the time being, you just skip others because you don't have to know them. What you need to cultivate and develop understanding is the important understanding through our pure awareness, the essential Dhamma and the wisdom part that arise from there. Okay? Now we go back to the notes. So after explaining that to you, now we can move on. Others hold the extreme view of eternalism. They believe if you are born as a person, whether you do good or you do bad, you will always be reborn as a human being or a person. If you are a ghost, you will always be a ghost. Buddha also will always be Buddhas. There will never be any change. They say God is eternal and that He will always be God. Horses and oxen will always be horses and oxen. They claim that nothing changes over time because all beings have a particular seed. People have the seed of becoming human. Animals. Seed of being people or human. Animals have the seed of being animals. Ghosts have the seed of being ghosts. If you fall into the hell, you will stay there forever. So they believe in eternal hell and eternal heaven. Because you have planted the seed in hell and will thus reap the fruit of undergoing the retribution in hell. They believe that everything is fixed and absolute. In reality, nothing is fixed and definite. But they firmly believe that nothing will change. So these are all the other views. Then further up, we go faster. For example, some religions say that there is only one supreme deity in the heaven. There is an example of an extreme view of eternalism. Eternalism and annihilationism are two non-Buddhist views. In this teaching, no matter how good you are, you can never become the supreme deity. As long as you believe in that deity, you can go to heaven even if you commit crime. But if you don't believe in that deity, then you are bound for the hell, regardless of your virtue or virtuous behavior. This does not seem quite fair. It almost appears as if the deities would accept bribe and like to be revered and worshipped. So this is Xuanhua's way of sharing. So analyticism and hedonism are both extreme view. They are not in accord with the middle path or the middle way. For example, if you favor someone, your view will be biased towards him. Biased people might even praise a villain. They might make up reason to support their views and make them sound like very logical and legitimate. They use sophistry to support their extreme view. Such people think that their opinions are always correct and that they are better than everyone else. In China, we see that such people are holding on to a lump of dung. If you offer them a donut, they will not trade their dung for your donut. Even if you offer them dumplings or steam bun in exchange, they are not interested in trading. Extreme views are very difficult to change. They are the worst and most unreasonable kind of views. This is why they are called extreme views. Everyone has the potential to become a Buddha. However, you must work at it. Even though you have the causes and conditions to realize Buddhahood, you will not arrive at that stage if you do not work towards it. If you do the work, you will naturally reach your goal. Before learning the Buddha Dhamma, people may do a lot of deluded things, For example, in this country, many young people take drugs and become oblivious to everything, a state that you can call being stoned. If one thing if you took drug before you study the Buddha Dhamma, because you did not have the true understanding of what it means to be a human. Now you have studied the Buddha Dhamma, you should change. You shouldn't continue to use drugs. To do so would be deliberately violating the rules, and that would be an extreme view. You would be like those people who do not want to trade their lump of dung for the most delicious food. I have brought up this analogy hoping that everyone will quickly wake up. If you have never taken drugs, that's even better. As we move it up. Okay, we have to end already. Okay, one more paragraph. If you already study the Buddha Dhamma, yet continue to take drugs, then put that lump of dung down now. Don't hang on to it. Don't be like those dung beetles who love to live in the toilet. If you live in the excrement for too long, you might turn into the dung beetle. If you get out of there fast, you still have a chance to discover the fragrance of humanity. In fact, you can even set up the causes and conditions for becoming a Buddha. Okay, we stop here. So we can continue our second session. We can allow people to come in voluntarily.
Good evening, Brother. This is Teo and all
yes.
Kayamitas. Brother, can I ask a question on
Can.
the last Sunday class?
Can. Last Sunday was very good.
The day you mentioned about this Surangama Samadhi, I wish to ask, what's the difference between Surangama Samadhi and the normal Samadhi? Is it the same or got different?
Okay, I'll explain to you very good. You see, most people, they heard about meditative samadhi. So you look at the sutta, the teaching of the Buddha. Under Noble Eightfold Path, you have Samma Sati followed by Samma Samadhi. And that word is Samadhi. not samajana. That's why samadhi is not jhana. Then in the teaching, in fact, they have many descriptions of so-called samadhi. Some they define as the three commonly classified. Khanika samadhi. Khanika to them is moment to moment samadhi. To them is samadhi is a type of mindfulness, which is not wrong. So khanika means moment to moment, not that stable. Then they have the second type, which is called upachara samadhi. Upachara means before you go into apana samadhi, which is the third one. So upachara means at the threshold, your mind become very calm, very tranquil, means the mindfulness has stabilized, but you haven't gone into absorption samadhi. So these are the three types that meditator used to learn. But in a lot of other type of teaching, sometimes even the Buddhist teaching, those who don't quite understand, they develop thought-based meditation and end up with energy field. Then they develop one-pointedness, jhana. Then they develop into concentration. Means the mind become concentrated to one-pointedness of mind. They focus at a point, at the object of meditation, can be kasina or whatever. Then the energy build up. Then the mind, like no thought, full of energy. That they call it samadhi too. Then some develop the energy, then they push it up and develop jhana. They have the first jhana, second, third and fourth jhana, which is a form jhana. Then they move it further to 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th, which is the formless jhana. Those are not samadhi. That's why in the Mahayana they call 四禅八定. These are not really samadhi. So when you have those understanding, then you will know how to differentiate between them. So what is commonly taught is the three types of samadhi that I mentioned earlier: khanika, moment to moment, or access concentration samadhi before you go into apana samadhi. They call it upachara samadhi. So these three types of classification come from the Theravada tradition, because they believe in mindfulness. They thought they can develop this mindfulness until it become like very stable and enable them to develop the awakening, enlightenment. But what they don't understand is when it comes to apana samadhi, that one is absorption. Continuously, your mindfulness develop until you continuously aware, then it went into absorption. The mind went into absorption. It's fully absorbed into it. Then it cut off all the five senses. The hearings, everything you cannot, it doesn't function like normal. Because there is an energy that shut it off, because you absorb into it. So that one are the three types of samadhi that people talk about. But the one that can really make you enlightened is just the sati or mindfulness, or what we call pure awareness nature, where it's a free mind in samadhi. Means collected, unwavering, but it's a free mind. It's not a conditioned mind. It's not through concentration, absorption or whatever. You don't do anything to it. The mind that is naturally aware, that That is the Surangama Samadhi. That is the pure awareness nature. Is 慧能六祖 six patriarchs, the first Homage. When you develop the ability to be in the state of no thought, 无念的境界. So when you are in that state, the pure awareness nature, that is your true mind, your silent mind, your pure awareness nature. And it's not a being, it's not you, no word, nothing. But that nature, when you realize that, then you act from there, develop all the movement from there. From there, all thought arise, all creation arise. Then you start to understand the whole teaching, like how I explained to you all earlier on. So all this will lead you back to the understanding of the true mind. That's why in the Surangama Sutta it said, apart from that nature, the rest are manifestation. They are not the real one. Those are creation. That's why mind make adi. Mind is the forerunner of all things. Mind is she. When that arises, all things arise. So all the sense, door consciousness that manifests through the 18 sense right, these are the mundane mind, condition arising, thinking mind. That is not your true mind. So the only difference is when you come to Surangama Sutra type of cultivation and study, you must know the Surangama Samadhi is very different from the popularly accepted Samadhi. That one is based on commentary and other things. But the real Samadhi is, like I always said, it's a free mind. Not in the state of concentration or absorption. It's not a conditioned state. A free mind that is without thought. That is your true mind, your true nature. Okay? Sadhu. Let's rejoice. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Actually, Brother, 最近我就挺忙的，其实我也什么也没有做。
哇，sadhu。就是
每天就是attend to office, attend to 我那个所谓的 building house, everything 啦哈，大大小小很多的点点滴滴，很多的问题来到你就要去处理。对，就过了那一阵子哦，我就是我其实我什么也不懂，但是我一静下来，我就好像知道怎么样的去处理。然后过了之后，过了我的差不多 come to final，我不是跟 Brother 分享很多的那种 final touch，哇，更多的学习的机会啊。然后到差不多要 final 了，现在我们就告一段落啊。然后我就静下来，我忽然间感觉到很静，很静，静到我都那个 nature vibration 这么厉害。
sadhu very good。
然后就是最近就是星期五还是星期六，我发觉到我整个人这个 five aggregate 好像是空的，对，是空的，就是来一个好像以前我记得 Mrs. Steele 讲一个 robot 在对，就是
他自己在里面跑，
对，就 actually 那个感觉就是我回来之后，我就它是自动的 reflection on what happened, you know, last Friday 这样子。是当下我好像一个什么都没有，就是 aware 到 you know 你有什么来你就处理，然后 after that 你又回去你的 awareness，就这样子来去去，然后就过了那个几天在那边。然后我过了几天我就听回Brother Dio 讲那个Lotus Sutra 的102，就是我自己的分享。然后就 Brother Dio 讲到那个 Seven Factors of Enlightenment，然后我就把 就说我一听了之后，我忽然这么 Brad 就已经每次都讲，但是我好像不大知道，好像不大明白。但是这一次我一听，这样子，所以
全部 like clear 了。
对，就是那个 stages of seven factors of enlightenment，就是我慢慢的经历，就是一段这样子过去，然后就是这样子，然后我就给我的 understanding。这个非常难得，因为你当下你所处在那个很静很自在怎么说呢？就是你经常都是很静，而且你的心就好像我觉得它是在你日常生活里面你能训练出一种定，那个定就是说，like Dhamma Sutra 里面讲的
Samadhi，
那种 OK， 凡是任何的外面的东西，都是只是一个怎么样说？就算你 aware 它罢了，而你的心里面是处在那个定，而且你会很容易的就有一个 emotion， 一个波浪，已经是不会这样子，
你不会给它偏去了
所以
去 store and react and create the wave 波浪。
对，没有那个这样子，even 都很开心或者任何东西，就是你会知道你 aware 罢了，你不会说很开心，就是 like。以前的 experience， 我的 Dhamma Vichaya 是说，happiness is prelude of suffering。我也已经有这个 Dhamma Vichaya， 所以我知道的现在的那个 mind 是不一样。它可以 transform 到这样子，就是凡是你要遇到一点事情什么它。就是好像里面已经有一种 understanding。
That is the one, the wisdom that liberate your mind and develop the understanding, so that you can live life and understand life. Without that one, you cannot. That's why the first factor of enlightenment is always sati, mindfulness. That is a must. Without that true mind, the silent mind, you cannot develop understanding. You cannot investigate into the Dhamma. So Dhamma Vichaya is for you to investigate into the Dhamma. Then when you start to investigate, then you realize it's stand up to investigation, then you develop a lot of joy. Then you know this is the teaching, and this is so relevant to life. Like Brother Tew mentioned, it has a lot of parallel with life experience and understanding, and everything is very scientific, not like what they call usual belief system, that all these religious teaching, they are very esoteric or very difficult to comprehend. No, it's very simple, very direct. That's why after you develop the Dhamma Vichaya, that is stand up to investigation, then your faith becomes very strong. That it will drive you to cultivate. That's why the third factor of enlightenment will arise. That virya will arise. And naturally it will arise. Then you will cultivate. Then after that, you will develop piti. Piti is a spiritual joy or calmness that manifests through those cultivation. Then you continue to develop it. Then it becomes more and more refined, until finally it becomes very quiet and very still. That's why the fifth factor of enlightenment is passaddhi. Passaddhi is tranquility of mind, stillness of mind. That is your true mind, your silent mind. And when that one stabilizes, it becomes samadhi. Samadhi means it's collected and unwavering, but it's a free mind. Collected and unwavering through wisdom, not through a conditioned state, not through focusing, concentrating, or absorption. That's why those type of meditation is not awareness-based meditation. Then when you have this samadhi, in the midst of life, when you live life, your senses are active. That's why in the midst of daily life, when this sixth sense door arises and pass away, through delusion you will entangle living being. But because you have samadhi, that mind will not stir. Why? Because it's collected and unwavering. Understand? It can see things as they are. Then it develops the wisdom and understanding. That's why when it develops the wisdom and the understanding, then it can retrospectively root it out, reverse the whole thing through wisdom, and root out that delusion, or that wrong thought that condition us to stir and react to sense experience or to life. So once that one is developed, that wisdom will transform the form and mind that is doing the cultivation with the 7 factor enlightenment. Samadhi is 6. Then with the wisdom developed, it becomes the last factor of enlightenment, which is upekkha. Upekkha is equanimity of mind. That's why that mind becomes equanimous. It does not stir anymore. Like Alicia go through, it does not even have the excitement or joy or whatever. No, it just aware, understand. It wants to rejoice, it can. It wants to have the what they call understanding, to be in that mind state, it can. But it is no longer a craving. It is no longer something that they can deludedly cause attachment. No more. It is through all this understanding that the cultivator of the way, with that mind that is in upekkha, equanimity, that mind is not moving and not stirring, is because it has the wisdom. That's why the Buddha is only a Buddha if he has these 7 factors of enlightenment. That's number 7, equanimity. Means in the midst of life he is not affected. If he is only peaceful, calm, happy when he is in the meditative state, in the formal meditation, then that one doesn't qualify him to be a Sammasambuddha or an enlightened being. But enlightened being is peaceful wherever he is, in whatever condition. Whether it is in the midst of life or in the midst of cultivation or whatever, their mind is always in that state, unwavering, with wisdom. That's why they can see things as they are. They can come to accept the reality of the moment. They know things is just the way it is. That's why even during the Buddha's time, there are Jataka stories that actually mention many incidents where the Buddha was accused of certain things, like the Chincha incident. They accused him of causing Chincha to be pregnant and other things. Then there are also other occasions where Ananda was so worried, he went and talked to the Buddha. He said, this town, with this type of what they call rumor going on, we cannot stay here anymore. Nobody will believe us and respect us and all those things. Then the Buddha, being the Buddha, he knew. He told Ananda, don't worry, it will come to pass. Where he told the Buddha, if you run away from all this, do you think you go to other places? This rumor will not spread. It will. Be patient. Develop the understanding of the causes and conditions. Then wait for the causes and conditions to develop its own movement. Then finally it will come to pass. And then only people will give you back the respect that is duly, like you duly have it or own it. That's why the Chincha incident, or finally they expose themselves and admit what they have done. Then all this starts to reverse. So even in the other type of Jataka story also. I think there are many incidents. There was one, if I'm not wrong, I remember, I heard from Reverend Hsuan. The disciple, they become to know something happened, like they were arguing among themselves and nobody listened to him. The Buddha just walked away. Wait till they settle down, then they go and look for him and ask him to come back. Then only resolve the thing. Because for him, condition like that, things will like that. Just let things be. If it's meant to be, it will be. If it's not meant to be, it will cease to be. That's why when you have the wisdom, you will know how to accord and flow. And thing is just the way it is. Cannot be otherwise. It will manifest, it will evolve, and it will develop according to the flow, according to the vows, according to the causes and conditions that manifest. So all these are very beautiful. Yeah. Okay, Alicia, you continue.
Brother, 我终于明白 Brother 每天讲的。定就是this，因为他这个法 manifest 的时候，其实他有另外一个，就是当他这个法 cease 了，另外一个法升起的时候，他有他的 causes and condition。
对，
所以你也不需要太执着，
不用去执着，不用去紧张，不用去 interfere。that's why 缘起缘灭嘛，因缘法。Everything within the conditioned world is condition arising phenomena. Not so real, not what you think. What is a phenomena? Anything perceivable by the mind is a phenomena. And these phenomena are dependent originating, condition arising, causal phenomena. Means phenomena that manifest through causes and conditions. That's why we call it causal phenomena. And all these terms will become clear when you cultivate. When your awareness nature becomes stable, developed, then all this like become clear to you. All the words like fall into place. And you can see the beauty of the word that expresses this type of Dhamma. That's why the Mahayana Mandarin, the way they describe this, 缘起缘灭 is very beautiful. 缘 means condition. So condition arising entity, they manifest in accordance with this law. When causes and conditions are there, it arises, manifests. That's why based on the yin yang, it arises, 缘起. Then when conditions cease to be, 缘灭. It will cease to be. So if everything within the conditioned world and the phenomenal world is just dependent originating condition arising causal, then is it real? It can never be real, isn't it? Everything is a phenomenon, arise and pass away. Might make our day. As real it can be, it's only within the moment. Split second is there and gone. It is so transient. And there is only reality in life, the present moment awareness. So how real can life be? If the only reality is just such a transient phenomenon, split second is dead and gone, no more, completely no more. That's why I share with you all the deeper and more profound understanding. Everything that happens within the conditioned world, to you or to any living being, or any human being, as real as it can be, is only moment-to-moment consciousness that manifests and passes away. And because of that, we call it, you can only recall all this through memory. That's why 往事只能回味, that song. When I was very young, when I heard it, I was drawn to it by nature, and I know that wording, the lyrics, very meaningful. You can only recall through memory. No reality at all. That's why empty nature of existence. Anatta. Anatta. Not only non-self. Empty nature of existence. Sabbe Dhamma Anatta. Means everything is not what you think. Its meaning is very penetrative. It is not a permanent, unchanging entity. And because it's not a permanent, unchanging entity, it's just a phenomenal condition arising, cause of phenomenon. As real it can be. It's only within the moment. Split second is take and go. He know you, he know me. So all that has manifest and passed by, as real as it can be, is only consciousness. You can only hold on to it through memory. If there is no memory, it's as good as it never arises, never happened, or never manifested. But the conditioned world is a conditioned world. It has its conditioned number. That's why when you cultivate this type of teaching, you will understand all this. Then you will know in existence, within the conditioned world, it has its own set of conditioned number. And with the wisdom of the conditioned and the unconditioned, you can keep on arising and continuously develop the manifestation of the Bodhisattva way to continue this way of cultivation and perfection. And it can really develop wonderful existence in every manifestation of your coming once you have this wisdom and understanding. Very good. Okay, Alicia, continue. How you 12 minutes?
Actually, Brother, 讲完的 current 的我，讲回一点点以前的我，因为
很好。
以前的我是处在那个 depression 的时候，我的头脑是天马行空，每一天在想，每一天在转。even 我睡觉的时候，也把这个所谓的就是那个一直在转就对了，那个 thought 一直在转。
那个 wrong thought
对，然后做事好像看起来很认真。每样事都要做到很 perfect。对。现在我回想起，其实那个真的是颠倒。
对，颠倒。对，inverted thinking。
根本就所谓的 perfect 是你自己想出来的。
对。
根本没有这样的，所以当我在 Brother 这边学习了过后，我慢慢的知道的去，首先是想把这个所谓的以前的我给改掉，然后慢慢的把烦恼给除掉，然后再慢慢下来就是很认真的去生活。他的 understanding 给我是其实不是看破和放下，而是你在你的 understanding 里面，你去很认真的去这里的认真又有一点点的那个字又有一点点的复杂，就是因为你认真，你又不可以执着，你又要 acquire and flow，所以那个 without understanding 你是做不到的，对，做不到的，所以我感觉到很怎样讲，很感恩，很多的 gratitude， 我每天都在跟佛菩萨的感恩，还有就是感恩 Brother， 还有感恩所有的凯拉米达的especially Sister Puching 的 Inspiration for you know， 他是第一个进去他的 gateway， 然后我就。起初是很羡慕，后来的就改变自己的想法。与其我羡慕，倒不如我认真一点去做。是咯。所以这样。
After that 你有信心哦。
对，所以这个就是因为我觉得是因为我观音菩萨在加持， 还有地藏王菩萨的加持，还有很多很多的高的大僧都在加持我们。所以慢慢走着走着，我就觉得，哎，其实不是学佛就是看破了什么都不做，而是更加的积极的去生活。生活里面你每一个刹那都在观自己的心有没有起烦恼啊，有没有贪心啊，有没有这个念头或者那个念头然后还有所有的 challenge， 所谓的 challenge 那个 test 给你的就是。好像阿松女是不是跟他说，他就说，哎，那个 test 来 test 你的时候，是因为你已经准备好了呀。然后我讲然后就是我就一直去慢慢的去学习怎样的去面对自己，还有感恩这个身体，还有感恩大家，感恩 Mother Nature， 所以变了我的整个 mindset， 我忽然间为什么这样不一样了的？就是那个法就是根本你就当下来。You know， 你遇到某一个困难的时候，你好像 like Brother 讲的，你 just sitting as this， 你不知道
as they are，
就是这样子解决，就是这样子，就是然后就又跳过一关，又跳过一关，又跳过一关。Then suddenly when 我的 project end， 我就觉得从我 suddenly 整个人好像静下来这样子。所以 Brother， 我在这里要感恩大家，我也很感恩所有我的遇到、我的经历，还有所有的一切。所以我就在这里 wrap up， 我很多的法喜感恩大家，感恩 Brother。阿弥陀佛，
阿弥陀佛，萨埵萨埵萨埵 ，very good。Okay, very good. Okay, so got 7 to 8 more minutes. Anybody want to come in? Summary. Oh, you don't understand. Okay, I give you a very short summary. So, Alicia, like, he rejoiced because of what Chan has asked, the question, all those things, the samadhi, all those things. And she shared her part, and also how she develop the understanding through Puja. Puja was the first to detect the gateway and give her the inspiration to like seriously cultivate and persevere. Like what he said at first, initially she was a bit like envy, how come Puja can do it and she cannot. Then he said, instead of being envy, why not reverse all this and develop the cultivation herself, 自己努力去学习 so that she also can develop the same progress. And she did it. And after she did it, the transformation make her very different. Her mind become very still, very what they call tranquil, and like inside there nothing. But the understanding is there. That initially she said she was very busy nowadays. She got to take care of the business, the plantation there, the project. I think PG help her, which like anything in life, they encounter a lot of what they call situation in between. They wish, he said, when you have the Dhamma and the understanding, you just have to accord and flow and manage it. Then everything will fall into place. Then she was full of joy. After that, she realized everything just settled down back. Then whenever she wants to like be in that state, the tranquility, the stillness, that mind return. And because of that, she felt it was so beautiful, so meaningful. Then life become very different. Then he looked back in the early days when she was in depression, so different. The thought that she carried was full of ideal situation where everything must be perfect and all those things. She wants to do everything well. And of course she have a lot of wrong thought, because that depressive thought that make her depressed is through all the unhappy moments within her life. Everything she see or recall or through the senses perceive, it developed the wrong thought. So these are the ones that condition her fear, worry, anxiety, sorrow, lamentation, and make her depressed. That's why this is called depressive thought, that trigger of depression. Then as she developed the understanding of the Dhamma, the whole thing actually transformed her, changed her. Then she said the one that gave her the most wisdom and understanding is when you can see things as they are, accept whatever arises as the reality, means the silent observation of what is. What is the reality. Condition like that, things will like that. The world is the world, people are just the way they are. That's why she summarized it very well. Okay, PG, can follow her? Sadhu. Actually, 慧柔 not that difficult 给你是很容易，因为你懂华语啊。PG terbalik, 他不懂华语 but 他懂 English. But the sharing by Alicia is Mandarin based. So sometimes you envy somebody who knows Mandarin, but the one that knows Mandarin envy you because you know English. And the text, the Surangama and my sharing mostly in English. Don't worry, it's meant to be. And even this life, my form and mind, you all know, I English educated. No, actually I don't know Mandarin. But because of my past, somehow when it comes to Dhamma, I can understand her. Then sometimes my wife, Chinese school teacher, the Master Hsuan's Dhamma, I can understand her. She, as a Chinese school teacher, said that the Mandarin spoken by Hsuan is very deep, not easy. So it all depends. So don't envy anybody, like what Alicia did. Turn it around, understand? Initially, you can like envy. How come Brother Teo got this type of nature I don't have? But turn it around, understand? You know how I turn things around when I was younger. Standard 1, Standard 2, I was last and second last in the class. But I'm not shameful and not afraid. No. I'm very confident. No. And you know what motivates me and allow me to be what I am is, at that time I already know, whoever can do, I can also develop the ability to do, and I can do better. That's why I was observant. And I like to observe the good student who did very well. I observe how they study, how they talk, and I borrow their notes. Then sometimes I visit them at their house. I ask for permission to go to their room and ask them how you study. Then I saw in their room how they prepare for exam. All the like the orchard, all those things. They plan or no. 1 month before the exam, how to study. 1 day, how many hours. This. Then I saw, no wonder. Then they make notes on and they really study. Compared to what I did, I was from the small town. Where I got all this type of thing. We all wake up, play. Then afternoon, want to go to school, go, come back, prepare, rush, then go. Then in the school, if it's too hot, play until tired, sleepy. That's why afternoon class, I don't do well. Morning class, I do very well. Well, morning fresh. That's how I learn. Then after I know the language, my past came back and helped me. And I did very well. That's why after that, I realized I topped the school, I topped the class and all those things. And when I went to uni also same. Initially, when I entered engineering, 200 over students now. So I was just above average. We are from a rural state. But there are a lot of good students, very, very good. They are really, we call them PLI, special standard. So what happened was, first year, I was just above average. Then second year, I improved. Third year, I start to do well. Then final year, I almost topped the class. Well, my grade for final year was very good. And I myself was also surprised. Because I like all the subject in the final year. Then when I learn and understand all this, of course, I also observe how people study. Then I learn. Then being unique in the sense that you have your karmic past. That's why you must build up your karmic nature, your spiritual nature. Then when you come, you will become different. So initially when you start, you like very child. Don't worry. So I was the last in the class, standard 1, second last in the class in standard 2. But standard 3, when I know the language, I did very well. And I went to express class on standard 4 special. It was like those classmates of mine who skipped 1 or 2 years in their primary school. 6 years, you can skip 2 years. My school was a premium school. And most of them, they skip 1 or 2 years. So when I was in standard 3, I did so well. I joined them in the 4 special class. These are the tiao pan, skip class. I don't need to complete 6 years because of the result and all those things. Then later on, when I went to tertiary education, I also did very well. Secondary school, then tertiary. Okay, we better end. 10:33 already. Let us rejoice one more time. Sadhu, 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 for all the good sharing by Brother Chan and Alicia. So now we will do the closing puja. Akasata cha bhumata deva naga mahindika punyang tang anumodito chirang rakantu loka sasana etawata camehi padan punya sampadan sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampati siddhya menyatina tu sukita hontu nyatayo idang menyatina hotu sukita hontu nyatayo idang menyatina hotu sukita hontu nyatayo devo vasadkalena sasa sampati hetuja fito bhavatu lokoja raja bhavatu dhammiko imina punyang kamina mame bala samagamo sattang samagamo hotu yawa nivana patiya sadhu sadhu sadhu. Okay, you all can now pay respect mindfully to Lord Buddha, Guanyin Bodhisattva, and all the worthy ones. Then we end. Sadhu.